the first step that you need to take is practice gratitude right now. What are you grateful for right now, this second? I'll start. I'm grateful for this phone that I have in my hand because now I get to relay this message to other people of source.
I just wanted to shout out VonTooCut. I'm glad he's back on YouTube. And I was watching his video about just being, and he was saying how you need to just give gratitude, you know, to give thanks for the things that you do have. And it just made me realize that I wasn't even being present. I was living too much in the future. I was too controlled by the idea of what I wanted instead of just accepting what God, the universe, or source, as Vaughn says, wants for me. You know, I say this affirmation all the time: I'm so happy and grateful now that my life is unfolding divinely perfect. It's funny how, you know, VonTooCut was talking about gratitude, and that's like one of my main affirmations. I say this affirmation because it just removes the ego out of the equation and allows me to accept what's happening in my life. And it makes me realize that it's not about what I want, it's about what the universe needs to happen for me. I think too many of us are just caught up in those desires and that ego that we aren't able to hear what God is actually trying to tell us. Like I've said before, like our minds are just cluttered with so much noise. There's so much distractions that we almost never hear silence. And only when your mind is empty can you hear God. So the first thing I want to say is I want to say thank you, God. I want to say thank you, God, for always blessing me. Before I got into this video, I actually got into a car accident. Now, it wasn't that bad. It was just like I could just tell I was sleep deprived. And you know, like when you're so sleepy that your eyelids kind of want to close itself, I was only going like maybe 10 miles per hour. I'm driving. And I'm noticing I'm going in and out. And like most of the time I'm catching it. But this time I just dozed off a little too far. And by the time I noticed that my eyes were closed, I feel a bump. I look up. My heart sinks. Because all I'm thinking about is the future. How much money am I going to have to pay? What are the damages like? What is my mother going to think of me? What is my father going to think? I'm thinking it's just fear that engulfs my heart at that moment. To the point where it was like, it's like, you know, when you're so afraid of something, you don't even want to look at it. Like if you had bad grades in school and you just didn't want to check your online, or you could online and check your grades, you wouldn't even want to sign in because you didn't even want to see it. You just wanted to ignore it and hope that it would go away if you just ignore it. But that's not how things work. You have to face it. And I also like how VonTooCut was saying in his first video how, you know, first he was the light, then he went to the dark, and now he mixes the two. That's been my whole mission, is the whole angel and demon, Dante and Apollo. Like, that's been exactly the message I've been trying to preach to people. So once again, I'm going to say thank you to VonTooCut. Because he's like, together, all of us on the spiritual journey can really get us all to the right consciousness, to the right mindset, to the right mind frame. Because if enough of us are at the same mindset, reality changes. Magic is only real because a majority of the world doesn't believe in it. But if we all believe in it, it then becomes real. But let me go back to the story. So, you know, I'm feeling this fear. I see the guy get out of the car. It was a black man. Shout out to my brothers. Real talk. He gets out the car. He's like, man, what the fuck, man? Like, he's mad. And like, it made me more, now I'm like, my heart dropped because he has every reason to be mad. This was just a simple mistake. I dozed off from working 12-hour shifts every single day. I felt it even in the morning when I was driving there. I remember I just felt like, you know, I was dozing off a little bit. I was tired. I'm sleep deprived, bro. I just been working, bro. He gets up, he looks at the car. I'm like, yo, is there any scratches at it? He's like, nah, man. You good. It's just crazy because, you know, this happened to me last week. He says that. He says, no, but you good. And you know, like that, all that fear, all of the tension, the anxiety, all of that I felt in my head at the moment he said, you're good. And he meant it, because I felt it. All of that just dissipated. In a sense, you could say something as small as that is a miracle. And it just reaffirmed my faith in God. All I could say was, thank you, God. And what I said to that man was, I told him, I was like, yo, like, I'm 12-hour shifts every single day, bro. Like, yo, I'm thank you. And he was like, yeah, I can kind of tell. You feel me? Because, you know, we weren't really going that fast. And I just say, yo, God bless you, bro. God bless. Because, like, he could have made it a big deal. He could have called the cops. He could have tried to get some money out of it, as some people would, because a lot of people are controlled by money in this society. But instead, he looked at me and he said, you're good. And in that moment, I felt God. And at that moment, I didn't feel hurt anymore. I didn't feel none of that pain, all that darkness, bro. Like, and it was all of those thoughts that was keeping me in this material world. I was watching this other video. Shout out to, it was one of my boys in the School of Gods, bro. Shout out to y'all niggas, bro. We have this section called the collective consciousness. We just want to get that vibration of the world up out of here, bro. And I remember my boys here said, oh here, Sir Juice 215 has sent this video, The War on Consciousness. And I remember in this video, it was basically saying that they keep us diseased, they keep us ill, they feed us the wrong foods, so that way we stay sick and we stay focused on the body. Like in that moment when I got in that accident, it was literally an accident too. And you know, all those thoughts were just weighing so heavy on me. In a sense, you could say my mind was sick at that moment. He said, they keep us focused on the body, so that way we don't get to the mindset, to the mind frame where we're so high and elevated that we don't even realize we have a body. It's like they plant things in your mind to keep you at this low vibration, to keep you in this third dimension, when we have the power to go to so much more. So I think it really just starts with being present. Because I'm telling you, at that moment, when he said you're good, all those thoughts left my mind. It's like my mind was empty and all I felt was euphoria. It's like my body felt so light. According to this guy, it's a light body. I feel like that's that state that Jesus and Buddha and all of these people in these religions, it's the state that they all reached. And that's the point. Imagine if the collective consciousness was all on that. Imagine if everybody felt like that. You understand that this would literally be heaven. That's just where I want to go. That's it. That's just where I want to be, and that's where I want to bring my people. So if that vision aligns with you, I want you to click the link in the description. Join the School of Gods. Let's recreate heaven.